Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
you're special, man.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, we're about to start, so let me click live now. All right, let's go. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Shout out to the Coffee Gang for being in here, being involved, and being active. Today we are back again with my brother, my big brother, Chris Rupp, the YouTube guy, the sound producer guy, and the hat guy. Shout out to Chris Rupp, the co-founder of Home Free. Shout out to you, man. How are you doing, brother? Welcome to QoFyReacts channel.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm pushing, but there you are.
Oh yeah.
You minimized for a second. I couldn't even see you, but now I can see you again. So thank goodness we're good there. Yeah, it's fun to be here. I'm charging my iPad as we talk, and so I hope it doesn't die on me. It
I hope so.
It's plugged in, but that'd be awkward if it did.
Yeah, that would be like, okay, I would have to do some beatboxing or some acapella jingles,
right.
just
feel for a bit.
Yeah, just to feel as we figure out technical issues, what's going on. Oh man. Anyway, man, so you're currently in LA about to shoot. Is this an original?
Yeah.
Is this an original music?
No, so I'm in LA right now. I've been doing some collaborations with a gal named Ali Spagnola. She's got huge Twitter following, big YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow.
And we just connected last year out of the blue. I had seen a bunch of her things and thought she was very entertaining. So I sent her an email, just said, "Hey, I like your stuff. Just letting you know, props, thumbs up." And we started emailing back and forth. The next thing you know, she said, "Hey, I've got a project that might work for you. Are you interested in doing it?" And I said, "Hell yeah, I am."
Yes.
So we did a cover of WAP, which was
controversial
hit back in the spring and the fall.
Oh,
and
no.
We did it just ridiculous. She went with the theme of dinosaur gummies.
Okay.
Which is what we're singing about, not anything else.
Right.
Talk about. And because dinosaur gummies can be wet and gushy, right?
Yes.
Anyway,
so
we did it a cappella, and it got some play on Sirius Radio even, which was kind of cool. And it was a fun project. And we said, we should do some more things. And so this spring we did a cover of Lil Nas X's Montero.
Right.
We did that as a gospel revival number.
No.
We like to take it in different directions. I know, so that was really fun. That video was great. And he retweeted it, which is awesome. So
really?
2 million views the first weekend. Yeah.
Whoa.
And so then this
okay.
So 2 weeks ago today, he released his new video called Industry Baby, and it already has 60-70 million views in 2 weeks. And so her and I were just chatting about whatever a couple weeks ago, and then we said, "Hey, this one just came out today." And we looked at it and said, "This one is awesome. We should do something with it ASAP." And so we did, and we filmed it last night, and we essentially took the song and we turned it into a Michael Bublé big band swing number.
Yeah.
And it's going to come out on Sunday. So really fast turnaround from him releasing it in 2 weeks and ours coming out on 16 days later. So we'll see if that makes a difference on it too. So anyway, that's why I'm in LA. And I'm in her apartment right now, which has got so much random weird stuff, including this giant teddy bear.
Yeah.
I don't know why she has this, but it's here.
And then the chicken.
Also has a chicken.
The home free chicken.
It's now the home free chicken. Yes. There is just everywhere in this apartment is crazy random stuff. So this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing.
Quite the weekend, man. That's quite the weekend, man. Wow. Well, I must say congratulations to all the projects that you are doing, man. I'm really happy about that.
I'm always looking for something fun and exciting and different to do. I don't tend to stay in my lane, whatever my lane is. I love doing acapella things. I love doing gospel music. I've done a lot of that, but I also do pop songs. And then I go and do crazy things like big band swing numbers with Ali, just to change it up. So, it keeps it interesting and fresh for me. And I don't want to be pigeonholed into one category.
Into one, yeah. Now, talking about that, let's take a step back into your history and learn a bit about you. So, your background. I went through your YouTube. Well, I usually do, and checked out some of your hymnal arrangements and your acapella, your Beethoven pieces, and your Moonlight Sonata pieces as well. Is classical your basic? Your would you say classical is your base background? And if
I wouldn't say no. So in when I was growing up, my mom was a piano teacher, so I took some lessons from her. But then it was tough taking lessons from my mom, so I stopped doing that.
Okay.
And I just kind of taught myself and just played whatever I wanted through high school. And I got kind of good, but I was super sloppy.
Okay.
It didn't have an actual teacher. So then when I went to college, I was a piano performance major, and so I then had to learn how to actually play right, with real fingerings and doing my scales and things like that. And it was very, very difficult, but I learned the hard way. And so I was studying that kind of stuff. I was studying, Beethoven and Mozart and Chopin, and I loved it. But my focus was more pop music, because that's what I was doing. I was singing at weddings and funerals and even contemporary Christian stuff at church, things like that. So that's where I was actually making money. And so I told my college professors didn't like that very much, because they wanted me to keep focusing on the classics.
Yeah.
I said, I can't,
no,
because I'm not going to make a career out of this. I'm not good enough to be playing at Carnegie Hall on the piano. So I need to be focused on this other thing. So I have that background, and I love it, enjoy that stuff. And, I taught piano myself for many years, and I can teach it to an extent. But no, my focus is on pop music and that sort of world, because that's where the career is.
Man, okay, that is so interesting how that works. So where did acapella fall into this? And
so I was always a singer, and I did choir in high school and things like that.
Yeah.
And I came across a group when I was 16 years old called Glad, and they were one of the early acapella groups that was doing recordings and stuff, and it was all Christian hymn stuff. But some of their arrangements were just incredible. And I remember as a 16-year-old kid, it might have been a CD, it might have been a cassette tape, I don't remember, but going way back to then. But I remember sitting in my room listening to some of their stuff and just freaking out about it. And this is so cool. They're doing this with just their voices, and I play it and repeat over and over again. And so that was kind of my love, but I was doing everything. I was doing piano, and I played bass, and I played guitar and things like that.
Okay.
And then when I was in college, I came across Rockapella, which was one of the all-time classic.
Yeah.
I remember them from the TV show from Carmen Sandiego many years ago. And it's like, oh, those were those guys. And this is when Napster had started. So
never heard of that.
The beginnings of. You've never heard of Napster?
Napster, no.
Wow,
no.
You're so young. So Napster was the first file sharing network. So this was, I'm dating myself here now. This was 98, 99.
Okay.
So Ethernet was just a thing. In my college dorm, we had a LAN network. And so everyone were uploading their CDs to their computers and then sharing them on the network.
Okay.
So you can then search through and find all these different songs and music that you never had access to before.
Right.
And Napster was the program that did it. And they got super sued. And the guy that started Napster, Sean Parker, was then part of Facebook. And he's in the Social Network movie and stuff, and that's the guy that did Napster.
Oh, right.
He's played by Justin Timberlake in the Social Network movie.
Okay, interesting.
So there's the connection. So I was doing Napster, and then I found Rockapella on that, and then I started searching every student's computers on my college network looking for Rockapella tracks because they were so cool. And so I found them all, and then I said I wanted to make my own group, and that's when Home Free got started back in 2001. So it was my junior year of college.
Right.
And I was with my brother and his best friend from high school, who I was also really good friends with. And then we had two of the people from my church. And our very first song was the cover of Rockapella's Pretty Woman. And it was so bad. We had these tuxedo shirts on, and everyone had our back to the audience. We jumped around. The song to face them. We all had wired mics. And yeah, it was so bad. But
why does it have to be the suits?
Yeah, these T-shirts were so bad. But it's funny, and people still were impressed. Like they never heard it before at all.
Yeah,
this is the coolest thing ever.
Especially in church.
It was a church talent show. Yeah, what it was.
Right.
We sang to the pastor's wife. We sang "Pretty Woman" to the pastor's wife.
Ah, okay. All right, serenaded the wife, huh?
yeah. So that's how we got started, and then we just kind of kept doing it, and membership sort of changed until about 2007. We had our first real big gig. We sang over a cruise ship in Alaska. I don't know if you wanted the whole Home Free story, but I'm giving it to you.
Yeah. I don't mind it at all. Please. Okay.
So we've got a cruise ship gig to Alaska in 2007. Yeah.
So the original guys, Chris, Adam, would it be Matt, Darren, and Dan?
Wow.
Yes. I have. Yes.
That is the original.
I have. Yeah.
I think we probably got it from Wikipedia, which I think I filled all that information out years ago.
Yeah.
So we had the history correct.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So in 2007, at that point, Darren and Dan had left. They left within the first few years because it wasn't their thing. They were just doing it because they like doing music stuff. And we had a couple other guys from the local college that were singing with us. And then in 2007, we got the first cruise ship gig. And then by 08, 09, we had set up some tours with these performing arts agencies around the Midwest. And that really built our show quite a bit. And by about 2010, 11, we were actually a full-time touring group at that point. That's all we did was Home Free, which was awesome to get to that point and very, very tough to do as an a cappella group.
Yes.
But we were there. We were doing a lot of cruise ships. And then 2012, Tim joined us full-time. He had been doing on and off with us. He was doing other projects and other things, working on his solo career.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, guys, I want to do a cappella again for a while, like for real. We said, okay, great. So we told our current bass, sorry, Tim wants to join us. We're firing you. It's not a fun conversation.
Oh, no.
It worked out well for everybody. He lives in Australia now, and he's super happy with his wife.
Yeah.
But at the time, you couldn't say no to Tim. He was one of the best bassists in business.
Yes.
And so Tim joined us. And then at that point, that's when Matt retired that year. Finally, because he had been on and off, too, working with his family business. Right. And that's when we started bringing in Austin and a few others to try out. And then in 2013, we auditioned for the sing-off with Austin, and then that obviously took off.
Right.
When Austin officially joined it full time.
Okay, so you met Austin during the cruise ship, right? Because we watched your concert, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Probably the summer of 2012, maybe we met him.
All right.
And then he did his first shows with us. He did a week of touring with us in like October because Matt couldn't do it, and that was our first trial runs with him. And then that spring, so March or April, was when we did the sing-off edition, and that's when we brought him on full time.
Incredible! Wow, that is quite the firing people, sadness, and then Tim, and then Austin, and it's all happy again, and then you won the sing-off. And
we won the TV show, and then it all changed.
Man, that's amazing, man. Like talking about Rockapella, Glad, were they the two a cappella inspirations you had? How about Take Six? Take Six?
There were certainly other groups. I had heard of Take Six, but I didn't follow them. I didn't really know anything about them. No, it was definitely Glad and Rockapella. I didn't know of anybody else that much. I mean, things here and there, but nothing that I was considered inspiration. There were certainly other groups out there. One of the ones that I wish I had known about earlier was the Blenders. Yeah, they were out of Minnesota, where I'm from, and we ended up working with Darren Rust, who's Home Free's producer, and done a lot of stuff with me too. And Darren was the founder of the Blenders, so that's the connection there. And they were doing a cappella stuff that was so ahead of the time. The stuff they were doing in '98 still holds up today. Wow, which, you can't even say that about a cappella, the sound quality. Yeah, so they were really impressive to me. And there were a lot of other groups around that were doing things, but before the internet really exploded, you didn't have easy access to to find out. Mm-hmm.
That is really cool. So you really have a strong educated musical background, looking from your a cappella arrangements and the pieces that you play.
Yeah.
Who would you say inspired you to be a vocal arranger in terms of a cappella, not just the classical? Like, what made you start? What made you think, I could do this by myself? Or when did that start? When did you take interest in that?
Well, one of the things that I credit to my musical growth was actually playing in our church band. So my mom was the music director at our church. So, I was learning how to play piano, guitar, and bass and things like that, and following music. I decided when I was 16, I was going to do music. That was going to be my career. So I paid more and more attention to it, of course. And I started playing in the band at that point. And every week in the band, we had to take whatever songs we were going to play in the worship service, and we had to arrange them. Whatever we were going to do for it. Sometimes they're pretty easy, straightforward. Other times we had to actually think about how to do the song and make it work differently. And a lot of the vocal harmonies come from that because, we'd sing. So I had to figure it out really fast. So we'd only have 45 minutes of rehearsal before the service. And that's we had to make it all happen.
So you arranged on the day?
Yeah. So doing that for years. And then eventually I started taking over a lot more aspects of it too. Especially in my 20s, I was kind of leading the band many times. And so then I was in charge of the arrangements. And so I would take songs that people already knew, like my recent album I released in January, I did a version of Jesus Loves Me, which is a very standard classic children's hymn. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. And I took that one day because we had, during I think the communion service, we had extra time to fill. I'm like, okay, we still need 2 minutes of music. We had nothing else prepared. I just started playing Jesus Loves Me, and I started doing it in the same kind of version I did in my album, which is sort of adult contemporary, pretty chords and more extended harmonies. And like, oh, this is really cool. And this little band started playing with me, and we figured it out. And then like maybe the next week or two, we actually arranged it for real. Like, this is what we would do, and this is how you guys should sing on it. And things like that would happen all the time, where I'd have to come up with new ideas and new ways of doing songs. And so then when it became time to start doing stuff for Home Free, that was sort of my starting point for arranging was, here's the song. Like, one of the first ones we did was Bridge Over Troubled Water. Oh, and nice. I took that one. I did a cover of it on my channel, actually, kind of how I used to do it with Home Free. And I gave it a more up-tempo pop driving feel to it. And then once I could play it on the piano, and I took it, like, how would the voices sing that? And then we slowly worked it out, and this is how it turned into. So I wouldn't say there's necessarily an inspiration for how I arrange.
More like a necessity.
It's a necessity, yeah. You just have to do it.
You had to do it, yeah.
And like anything, it can be intimidating, but you just have to do it. You just got to jump in there and start trying to do something. Even if it's terrible, you just got to do it. Yeah. So it might not work at first, but in order to get to the point where it does work, you have to do the stuff that doesn't work. Yes. So you can build from that. Yes. And so that's how it kind of got started. And even in the last 5 years, I've done tremendously more than I did even during all the years with Home Free, because I've done everything I'm doing with myself. And so when I'm putting these albums together, you know, I've done 4 acapella albums now. And so that's 40, 50 songs or whatever that I've arranged in a lot of different approaches and a lot of different styles just for myself. And we never had to do it that fast in Home Free. You know, we'd have our set of the 15, 20 songs that we regularly perform. And then we'd maybe add 1 or 2 every couple of months or something and change things up. But that was, and I wasn't always the only arranger. I was the music director. But maybe Tim would arrange a song, or Austin would arrange one, or maybe we'd commission something out. Yeah. So I didn't have to do nearly as much arranging or as fast. So I've gotten much better at it over the last 5 years than I did the 10 years prior.
10 years ago. That is really interesting. Talking about arranging for Home Free, your favorite arrangement, so to speak, is Angels We Have Heard on High. Is that still your favorite arrangement? Is that still your favorite arrangement for Home Free that you've done?
It's hard to answer that question. I guess I'll say yes, because I love that one was super successful for us. I think even still today, that one has the most views in a day.
Was that because of the hat controversy? Because of that.
That was a big part of it. Yes. So I wore a hat in church for that one, even though we were sitting in the pews and none of us even thought about it. Yeah. But it was very controversial to a lot of people to wear any kind of hat in church at any time. Yeah. Yeah. And so that got so many comments back and forth on the thing, which then makes YouTube think this song is very, very popular. Yeah. People are talking about it. Let's bump it up the algorithms. Yeah. So yeah, we had something like 700,000 or 800,000 views in a day on that video during that Christmas season. So it just exploded that day. Wow. So that was, and I just loved how the arrangement turned out. Really love the harmony choices, 5 parts. This is great. So that's the one that I arranged. It was all me to do that arrangement. My favorite project I ever did with Home Free was the Butts remix. Yes. And that was still my project and my vision to make that happen, but everyone else was a lot more involved in it, so a lot more was in that kitchen. Yeah. But that was my concept and my producing of that track, and that was my favorite one. Yeah, ever did.
I think that was my second or my third reaction that I ever checked out on Home Free, and that made me really uncomfortable. The reason was, I wasn't used to the group, right? I didn't know any of you. I didn't know your character, your behavior. I didn't know any of that. I was really new, so I was like, oh man, I have so much respect for you guys. And then I see you do the bus, I was like, I was like, yeah, that's how I felt, right? So what is happening right now? I know. I was like, oh, what's going on? What is this? But I honestly didn't know until the Home Fries got me through all the concerts that you guys did, the Tim story time, the guilty pleasures, and then I realized that you guys are incredibly, like, you just goofballs, crazy, talented people that just like to play around. That's when I understood. See, I didn't know what it was about. The Basmali, it was so good that it got me into that situation. I was like, oh my god, what is going on right now? But this is Home Free. This is all Holy Night Home Free, and then they're doing bus. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, but yeah.
So that's an interesting point. I don't know if you're going to ask this question or not, but I'll go into it. That's one of, a lot of people often ask, why did I end up leaving Home Free 5 years ago? Yes. And that's kind of part of that story. There's a lot of reasons, and I don't want to go into all of them, but one of them was the group direction was changing. partially because, we're always trying to figure out what's the best direction to take the group. Partially of it was from management and the label thinking we should do different things.
Yeah.
And for me, I loved the version of Home Free that did like the serious stuff like Oh Holy Night, Angels We Were Heard High, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also love the fact that we could be absolute goofballs.
Yes.
Just hilarious, fall off your seat laughing kind of stuff.
Yes.
And
we really loved that.
The vibe was that we were getting, and the direction that people wanted to kind of go was we wanted to be serious musicians, people to take us seriously. And so our show, we got rid of the guilty pleasures and we got rid of some of the other bits that we were doing. And the videos kind of they lost a lot of that silliness. And so it wasn't as much fun for me because I understood that the direction people wanted to go, but that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I fit in with that vibe as much because I like doing silly stuff. I like doing like the Montero video I talked about with Ali. That was so much fun.
That makes so much sense now. That makes so much sense now.
Part of the reason that I want to keep doing whatever I want to do and fun, silly things, and that wasn't the direction the group was going.
Oh man, that's such a shame. But that is so much understandable now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so on average, you look at the videos I've done the last 5 years, they tend to have more of a serious musician.
Yeah.
Overall, so
yeah. Oh, that explains so much. That really does. That's like realization.
Yeah.
You
know what? Slight plug. You should probably react to the Montero video now that we.
I probably should. I'm gonna do that after this. I'm gonna check it out. Right. Wow, is that the one that's got to 3 million views? You mentioned that's got to 3 million views now.
Yeah, on Twitter it got 3
on
million
Twitter.
views that weekend. I don't know what the stats are.
Right. Okay.
It's not nearly as much.
Man,
Ali has like 2.4 million followers on Twitter and only couple 100,000.
Whoa.
So
okay.
All the people see her on Twitter. That's where she's.
Right. That makes sense. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm gonna be.
All right. Yeah.
What is Chris up to?
Videos, she does a making of for the first 7 or 8 minutes, and then it's the video itself. So you can just cut to the video itself if you want, or you can do the whole backstory.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna decide that. But talking about, see, that makes so much sense. How you wanted it to be a bit light-hearted, home free all the way through, rather than the serious, well-structured classical, which is one of the reasons why you actually didn't really like the classical version. You're like, it's too much structured. Focus, read the books, and do everything according to the book. You're like, nah, you need to be a little bit more contemporary on that. But that explains how you are now kind of on your YouTube. You're doing some gigs with your friends, Dr. Jeff and Tyler Walls. That's the name of the group, right? Cypress Fire.
New acapella group.
Right. So it makes so much sense because it's very light-hearted. It's exactly what you wanted, right? It's kind of
going to be fun. And right now there's no pressure on that because we're just doing it for fun. And we're talking about we want to try to make it more and invest more into it.
Yeah.
And we definitely will be probably sillier when we do it. Right now the songs we're doing we kind of performance songs, but that's just because that's what they are right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've talked about doing a sort of making of Cypress Fire video, and it would just all be ridiculous, funny stuff.
Can't wait for that. That would be good. Yeah. Because I could tell, but your harmonies are three. For a trio, the harmonies are really well structured and it blends really well.
Thanks. And for that too, we're doing it a little differently because oftentimes in acapella music, you double or triple the parts to make it sound thicker and fuller.
Yeah, definitely.
But for Cypress Fire, we are just doing 3 individual voices. That's it.
Yeah.
No doubling.
Very vulnerable.
Parts, it's always 3.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah, and it's open. And it's very clean and pure, kind of. And it's a different sound, and we really like that. My iPad has said 5% remaining.
Oh no.
Fun. But hey, it's plugged in. I don't know. It's
plugged in.
Holding up better.
It should be charging. Let's see how long we can go. Yeah, man.
But it's very simple and clean and pure, and it is a challenge with only 3 parts to arrange that. But I'm really enjoying that challenge because we're approaching it not as trying to fill out the song as if it was a full band. Like we never sing a bass line in these 3-part arrangements.
Yes, that was my next question.
We're thinking of it more if we were Rascal Flatts or something and we were singing this song with instruments, what would the vocal harmonies be behind it? And so that's what I'm kind of doing. Like you could take the arrangements we've done and you could put a band behind them and it would fit right in, just as it is pretty much. Yeah, so that's kind of the approach I've taken.
So are you looking to when the world opens back again and everything's normal? Are you looking to do live performance, live gigs? with?
Maybe, yeah. It depends too on what Dr. Jeff and Tyler want to do. Everyone's got their own lives, and right now it's just easy. We get together every month or two and sing some songs and record it, and then have a great time, and then go our separate ways again.
Yeah.
So touring will be more of a commitment, but it's a possibility. We're talking about it. We're actually getting together next week, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about is what do we want to do next.
Yeah. Definitely come to England. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So talking about collaborations, you collaborated with a number of people. Really cool. You sang with your sister, Tristan.
Yes, a bunch of my sisters.
I
started another group called Seventh Ave with her.
You start so many groups. You like to found things, as you see on your Instagram.
Nice. Yeah,
you like to found things. Yes, you're a founder. Do you still sing with your sister a lot in?
Yeah, we actually got together last month and did some Seventh Ave projects. I'm kind of winding that down just because I'm focusing more on Cypress Fire, and I feel over the 5 years I've done Seventh Ave, it's kind of done what it's been meant to do, and it's run its course. Yeah. But we still have some projects in the works, and we've done some things like that. And every now and then I do something with her on my channel as well. But yeah, so it's been great singing with her. I mean, she's a fantastic performer and vocalist herself. Yes. So it's been great working with my brother and then working with my sister. Yes, because I listened to A Whole New World and I thought I've never heard her sing, but damn, that's good. that was really good. Man, are you still with your brother with Adam? Are you still looking to do more gigs with him as well? Do you Probably not. I mean, he's really busy. Really time anymore. Yeah. He's got his 2 kids now, and then whatever he does, he has with Home Free. Yeah. And then it doesn't make sense for us to really do anything. He did one collaboration with me a couple of years ago on a track for Are You Ready for a Miracle? Yes, that was with Elliot and Emoni, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah. Yep. And Michael Kilgore. Michael Kilgore, yes. Nice big collaboration on that one. Yeah, that was really good. I checked it. I actually did a reaction for that. That was really good. Fun. Yeah, that was really good. You should watch it. Okay. Yeah, man. Anyway, talking about reactions, you then started a reaction channel. Yeah, during COVID, like stuck at home and nothing to do, and I'm like, well, I need some start a reaction channel. So like, I'll start doing some reactions myself, and I tried to approach it a little differently than a lot of reaction channels. I tried to really analyze from a technical standpoint what was going on in the music and the production and the actual video creation of it, and that was fun. I did about 20 of them or something, and now that COVID's been a little bit easier to live and move around with. I haven't done any for a while because I've been doing other things. All right. Kind of a list. I got like 7 or 8 that I should still do reactions to these, and I might do them again next week or something. I don't know. I keep thinking one of these days I'm gonna start doing some more of them. You should keep doing it. You should join us in the business, man, and keep doing it. So validate our business, bro. I really enjoyed your reaction to Fishing in the Boondocks and Fishing in the Dark and Down to the Boondocks by Home Free, because that's one of my favorite songs by Home Free, man. It's just so good. It's fun doing the Home Free ones, because those especially I'm just giving a lot of behind the scenes information as to how we did it. So those are fun to do too. Yeah, man. Nah, well done. Like, keep doing that. And with Alvin Cheer. Yeah, did Alvin Cheer. Yeah. How did that happen? So last year, right before COVID, I had started this idea of putting together a acapella bass collaboration CD. So a lot of the big basses in the business, which have been Alvin Chia, Tim, Adam Chance, Jeff from Voice Play. I was going to do Barry Carl from Rockapella back in the day. I talked to the pentatonic bass right now, forgetting his name at the top of my head at the moment. He was interested, and I was going to try to get a hold of Avi, all these people. And it was going to kind of happen, and then COVID happened and just all messed it up. Just messed everything up. It still kind of fell apart. But Alvin Chi was one of the people I had talked to. Yeah. And we were going to do This Little Light of Mine, and I talked with Tim, and he wanted to do Long Black Train. Yes. So both of those songs have, are religious songs. And I thought, if this bass album's falling apart, why don't I just do my 3rd gospel CD and have those 2 just be collaborators on it? So that's what that came about. Right. And yeah, I had talked to Alvin, and I explained the concept, and I said, I'll do everything on my end. Just do the bass. Just do the bass. Pretty on it. Yeah. Yeah. Do anything else, and we worked it out, and he did it for me. It's so great, and a great track, and he sounds awesome on it, and super fun. Of course, man, because Take 6 is growing up. Take 6 is my influence in acapella, and nice. I love Alvin Chia, his bass, his little twangs that he puts with the bass guitar skills, everything just about him, just like So when I saw you collaborating with him, I was like, yo,
That is amazing, man. That was crazy. But yeah, man, congratulations on that. Are you looking to do more with other ones, other arrangers like Jacob Collier, Peter
Oh,
Hollins?
yeah. Peter, I mean, I did done stuff with Peter before
Oh,
with Home Free, but not with
yes, yes, yes,
myself.
yes, yes,
And
yes. Of
I've
course.
mentioned it just, like I don't have a big enough presence for him to make it super worth it for him, but more like if I'm in Oregon, I think we'd probably do something. So I'm already there anyway, which it might actually happen.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of waiting for the next time I go to Oregon, and then I might say, "Hey, Peter, I'm going to be in town this week. Do you want us to throw something together?" And then that might happen.
Yeah.
Every now and then, him and I talk a little bit.
Yeah. You should do a game or a movie theme or something. He does something crazy like that. You bring your crazy ideas. He brings his, and then it's like a whole.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd pitch it to him like, "Hey, let's do this project. You want to do this?"
Yeah.
And I can make it easy for him as well, just like with Alvin. Like, I'll do all the concept and put it together, and you just show up and sing pretty.
Yeah.
And Jacob would be fun. I've never talked to Jacob actually. I've known of him for a long time.
Yeah.
It'd be cool maybe do something with him. I don't know if like his sound and style really matches me at all.
Right.
It's not a natural fit, but you never know. You
never know.
On the table.
Yeah. Nah, that's good to know that you're open, man. Because I would love to see you do that with a lot of people, bro. A lot of people.
Yeah, sometimes just finding the right project. I often like have ideas like, cool, do something with this person.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is, and then suddenly, oh, boom! I've got an idea. This one would be perfect for it. Let's make it happen.
How did you deal with the transition between moving from Home Free and being vulnerable by yourself?
That was terrifying.
Well, how was that? Because now we see Chris with projects and this and that. It's exciting, but certainly the transition to that was quite trying, right?
Yep. It was tough. I just kind of, just like with arranging, as I talked about earlier, you just kind of jump in and start doing it. And Home Free supported me a lot for that first year too, both in promoting my stuff and financially. It was part of our buyout exit agreement, so that gave me kind of the cushion to get started and build it up somewhat. But it was not easy. It was terrifying to leave everything I'd known for 15 years. It's the toughest thing I've ever done. Even though it felt like this is kind of the way it had to go for me. It was definitely not easy.
Plus it was your baby, right? So it wasn't just anything that you were leaving. This is your baby. Right.
And and so part of my agreement still, I still have a tiny little stake in what Home Free does. So when they do well, I do well as well. So
right,
I'm still invested a little bit that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to walk away from that, definitely. But it's also, people ask me, what do you miss still? The things I miss are some of the really cool stuff that they get to do, like being at some of the award shows or maybe being on some of the network TV things. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's so wonderful not having to work in a committee. It's so wonderful not having to be on the road touring.
Right.
To be able to do whatever project I want to do, whenever I want to do it, and all that freedom is just wonderful. And I don't miss any of that at all.
Who do you miss the most in Home Free?
Probably Robert Tim, I guess.
Robert Tim.
Honestly, my brother's my brother. And I go golfing with Rob this summer. We've gone 3 or 4 times now. So every couple of weeks, I'm going to go golfing together, which is so fun. And Tim and I have done several projects together, so that's fun too. And every now and then, Austin and I chat about X, Y, or Z. He's got a new album coming out, and so I've been throwing him some support on that. Like, hey, I love this track, blah blah. My brother and I tend to just talk about family stuff. Yeah,
it's just because it's family. No time to play.
Yeah. And Chance and I haven't talked much for a while, but the first year, him and I talked more. Also, just helping to support him, what he was doing, replacing me, and so we hung out a couple times, and that was cool. But him and I don't have any reason to. But no bad blood or anything.
Yeah. Did you help in finding Chance?
No, Tim and Chance have been friends for a long time.
Right.
And, once things started, we started having discussions about whether I should leave. Chance was the person that they wanted immediately. No questions. Okay. So it wasn't even really a search because they knew they wanted Chance. Because, he's such a more legit bass than I am. I mean, I can get low in certain situations, but he's low all the time.
Yeah.
To be.
Yeah.
And he definitely has that kind of country twang, and it fits the vibe. And he said it was super easy laid back, chill guy to get along with.
Yeah,
which helps any group dynamic. So
I always talk about it.
Right away.
Yeah, I always talk about it, how laid back he is. I'm like, does he know he's dead? Does he know he's been filmed? Because he's so like, this is so easy. I'm like, why is it so laid back?
And more power to him. It's easy to get along with that.
Yeah, lovely, man. Man, it's so great to hear from the horse's own mouth how it actually feels, being in that very highly concentrated, group like of so many talents, and then transitioning to being yourself, to find yourself, and you have found yourself, right? And you're doing so many things, so many projects. It's really exciting. You did some collaborations with VoicePlay, talking about Jeff, because you mentioned you wanted to do something with Jeff, but you actually did something with VoicePlay.
I did a collaboration with them right away after I left Home Free. We did the top 10 acapella bro country songs or something, which was fun.
Yes.
And we were gonna do another one on my album. I did Amazing Grace, and I wanted to do that with VoicePlay. So I and one of my buddies arranged that song with VoicePlay in mind, because this is a big song, and so we wanted to do it together. And that was the plan. And then they last fall had just a ton of stuff going down with COVID and their lives, and they said, we can do the audio track, we'll record it, but we just don't know when or if we can do the video. Yeah. And I said, well, I gotta do a video for this song. Like, crap. And so I said, guys, let's just can it. We'll do something else down the road. I'll just do it myself. So if you've listened to my Amazing Grace track, I just released it. I've
reacted to it. So yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm early on that.
And so if you're wondering why I have this bass solo in the beginning, it's because that was going to be Jeff.
Oh man, and that was a really good bass as well. That's a really good bass.
6 a.m. in the morning after drinking the night before.
I figured. Yep. I was like, what time did he wake up to do this?
Yep. That's not something I can sing every day in the middle of the afternoon or after warming up or anything. Nope. Yeah. That is specific time. Yeah. But it works for a recording. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, and also it gets really, really high, and that was going to be Ellie singing really, really high.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I can sing all these parts. I'm going to do it and just be like, boom, look at me.
That was an expression. That was a really good example of how your ranges work, because we never really got to understand your range when you were in Home Free, right? Because sometimes you would dip in the bass when Tim was doing the solos. Sometimes you would do that, and you were a baritone part, right? Or a second or a first baritone in Home Free most of the time. So actually, talking about your range, are you a baritone? Are you a natural? You're a natural baritone, right? Are you?
I'm really not. I'm a second tenor technically.
Right. Okay.
So it has to do not necessarily with the notes, but it's the tone of your voice and how well you can sing the notes.
Yes.
That determines your voice part. So, for example, I can sing really low notes as a bass, but it sounds like someone high singing low notes. Now, in a studio recording, you can work around that, and there's things you can do to make it still sound pretty bassy. But if you listen to what I did on Amazing Grace, and then listen to like Tim sing down there, it still doesn't sound the same.
Yeah.
Even though I'm hitting the notes, he just has a richness to his tone, which is why he's an actual bass.
Yes.
So, and even a baritone, Chance is more of a baritone,
right?
Bari bass,
right?
I am more of a second tenor, so I have a higher timbre to my voice in the higher notes. Yes. And that's where the resonance really rings. So I can sing low, and I do in all my recordings, but that's where the sweet spot of my voice is. Yeah,
that is really cool, because when I listened to your solo arrangements, and I think that was my first time hearing you in the higher ranges, and I was like, that was pretty natural. Where you, it was as though you fitted there. I was like, wow, the bell tones that you do. I was like, yeah, bro, that's what he does. That's what you should be doing, man. But yeah, man, that is really interesting to know that now. That I've noted that down. So I don't call you a baritone now, even though you are a lot of people's favorite baritone. If you don't know that.
You can call me a Barry tenor.
A Barry tenor, here we go. Or a tenor Barry. I don't know. Hey, I don't know who makes up the names. I don't know who makes up the names. But yeah. But talking about a bit about VoicePlay. You did a reaction of VoicePlay's Moana, and I did a reaction. Oh, yeah. I did a reaction of VoicePlay's Moana when I was introduced to VoicePlay at the start, and I was confused as where Ellie was doing that or mimicking that bass You know, that bit. And then you actually spoke to Jeff that it was actually Jeff that was doing the bass, not Ellie. Because I said the same thing, right? But then a lot of people in the comment section said, oh no, it's actually Ellie. Ellie can do bass. I was like, nah, that sounded like Jeff.
So here's the thing. So since I'm in the business, I know all the tricks and stuff that we do to make the products happen. And that's fine. So you should learn how the sausage gets made. And when I did listen to the recording, I was 99.9% sure that was still Jeff's bass.
Yeah.
It sounded like Jeff.
Yes.
And Ellie can sing bass, just like how I in Home Free in the live shows, if Tim's singing a lead, I was singing bass. So Ellie can sing those notes.
Yeah.
But again, it sounds like a tenor singing bass notes.
Yeah.
So in a recording standpoint, it just sounds better to have the bass still singing the notes.
Yes.
And that's what we did for a lot of the Home Free stuff too. Even in the recordings, Tim would just sing the bass, even if I would pretend to sing it in the videos.
Right.
And I would sing it live. So I knew that's what they were doing. Even though in the video, Ellie is singing the bass line. But since people were kind of giving me crap about it, I went and just called Jeff up. I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure this is what is happening.
Yeah.
What's happening. He said, oh yeah, that's happening.
That's what's happening.
Thank you. So then people would say, no, it was Ellie. Like, dude, I talked to Jeff.
I saw you. I saw you arguing with them in the comment section. I was like, this is the best thing ever. This is so good. He's like, nah, I'm right. You're wrong. I spoke to the guy.
It's a great example of how, again, a lot of the tricks that we do, nobody can tell, and they don't. So sometimes we get, in the business, we get self-conscious about it. Like, oh, I did this little thing here. People are gonna know. They're gonna freak out. It's not real. People don't tell. They can't. They can't tell.
They can't tell. There's a lot, man. There's a lot going on. Man, that is crazy, bro. That one of the reasons why I love acapella is that there's so much going on. But then you're sort of tricked into hearing just the music without hearing all the parts and the weird things and the madness, with the madness that's going on in the background. And with my background being acapella, I was able to I started listening to Take 6, and so many other complicated harmonies, 6-part harmonies, 7-part harmonies. So I grew up getting used to breaking down parts and hearing all the craziness. So when I listen to Home Free and I listen to all these acapella groups, I'm like, oh wow, what just went on there? And then people were like, oh, if it wasn't for you, I never would have heard it. It's like, right. Like you have to have that ear built in to be able to figure out what is going on. So you get a lot of
that's part of musical training.
Yes,
we did this kind of stuff in college, was being able to isolate and break down the parts that are happening in a song versus just hearing the song.
Yeah. That is
a trick, for your listeners or whatever. If you want to start doing that, next time you listen to a song, just listen to the bass line. Nothing else but the bass line. Just listen to the drums. Nothing else but the drums. And you start learning how to focus and train your ear to isolate that stuff.
There you go. All right, guys. You know it? All right. Music Lessons 101. There you go. That's all you needed today. You're good. Now go pass your exam or something. I don't know. But yeah, man. So with writing music, you're still in contact with the founding members, because after you left Home Free, on one of your original albums, you co-wrote one of the songs with one of the founding members of
Darren
Home Free, Darren Scruggs. Yes. Yep. Do you still write a lot of did you write a song for Home Free with him, or was it no?
We did a couple songs that I co-wrote with Darren in early Home Free, our very first CD back in 2007. Right. There are a couple tracks there on that album.
Oh wow!
Which you can find. You can't find real CDs anymore, but you can still find it at like Google Play or something.
Okay.
You can get that album.
Oh, that's cool.
So you want to go back to the history of the very beginnings of Home Free at 2007, that CD. So a couple of those tracks are co-written with us. Other than that, though, no, never any of the current Home Free.
Okay.
But on my Shine CD, him and I wrote a bunch, and I just did a project for him where we did some songs together, his own little EP. And him and I are talking about writing a few more original songs, because next year, one of my projects is try to do another original album.
Yeah. Oh man. That is awesome, man. Are you looking to do a future collab with VoicePlay, since they couldn't come to do Amazing Grace?
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, it always again depends on the project and what makes sense. They got a lot of their own stuff going on. I got my stuff going on. If I'm down in Orlando, then hey guys, I got an idea. Let's do something.
Okay, well, fingers crossed on that, because we really want that to happen. We need that to happen.
Cool.
We want another country fried pop medley, but with voice play. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But yeah, man, I've got a number of questions from my Patreons, so we're gonna go through them, and then we're gonna it's like a pop quiz. All right, will you and Adam do another song? I think you've already answered that, or have him sing. Are you gonna have him sing? Yes? No? Probably not gonna happen.
I could, yeah. I mean, I guess I needed a project in him to be excited about it, because he's weird. He doesn't get excited about things. So it's like pulling teeth to get him to do stuff sometimes. But maybe if it came up, you never know. Yeah.
He's more like, is he more like Chance? Because when I react to the Guilty Pleasures and the previous live gigs that you guys did, and he was always very unimpressed in his, like, he was just like, you guys would be really like having so much fun, and he'll be in the background like, all right, can we start now? Can we start? What impresses this guy?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway,
he's a different kind of chill than Chance. Yeah, he's kind of in his own little world.
Yeah. Shout out to Adam, man. He's amazing though. When did he actually discover his beatboxing? When did he start that?
Well, when we started that Pretty Woman arrangement in 2001, originally I was going to do the beatboxing and he was going to sing. And we started working on it a little bit, and I said, "This is," and I said, "This is kind of dumb, because I'm a stronger singer than he is."
Yeah.
So I said, "Adam, do you want to do the beatboxing instead? Because this is not making sense." And he said, "Sure, you'd give it a try." And then he found he liked doing it. And then over that couple of years in college, he kept working on it and getting better at it, and so we kept doing Home Free. But even in the last, right now I'm doing a collaboration with Rob and Seventh Ave, and we're going back and doing an old song we used to do. And I'll keep that as a surprise for now.
Yeah.
But it should be coming out at the end of this month.
Okay.
In theory.
In theory,
but,
right.
Yeah, it depends on how much I get back to the editing done.
Yeah.
But going back and listening to some of my early recordings of that song with Adam, I think, okay, this is good. And then I listened to the live CD that we did in 2012, right before Austin joined, still with Tim.
Okay.
And listening to his tracks then, I'm like, damn, Adam is good. It's just good. Now it's 2012, but even those couple years from like 08 to 12, vast improvement. And of course, now what he's doing is even more incredible. It's just, and I can beatbox too, but the level he's at is ridiculous.
Because every time he gets the solo, the solo slot in the concerts that you guys do, is like,
we loved that.
What?
He gets to do a solo, just go backstage and have it, some water, just hang out, check our phones, whatever.
He's gonna kill it. You just know that. Yeah, he'll kill it.
Break time.
He'll kill it. Yeah, he'll kill it, man. So, his Michael Jackson moves. Did you teach him, or did he? Did he?
Well, when he started working to get his little Michael Jackson bit into the show, and so then he started, doing research and YouTube videos on how to do the moonwalk and stuff. And
okay, interesting. So that was going to be the thing about him, right? Oh, he's the one that does Michael Jackson moves. Is that what he was going for?
Yeah, well, he put together that bit with Billie Jean, and it just made sense. So.
Man, that's really cool. Shout out to the Rupp family, man. Are you all musical? Because your sister sings, he sings, and beatboxes.
My dad, not really. My mom's a professional musician, and then my brother and sister both learned music too.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, man. That is interesting. Anyway, the next question is, I guess we know that you have original music coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm working on the album. I mean, it's when I get around to it, when I feel inspired. There's no timeline. Again, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Next year, I hope to have it out. But I have a few songs that are done, a few songs that are in process, and a few that are just vague, germs of ideas in my head.
Yeah. Okay, all right. There's that. Okay, Rose, are you happy? Okay, good. All right, let's move on. Shout out to Rose Douglas. How on earth are you still single? Right. Yeah. It's not. Listen. It's not my question. That's someone else's question.
Well, thank you, whoever asked. I appreciate that. It comes and goes. Sometimes I'm dating people. Sometimes I'm not. And I don't usually really share that at all, just because whatever. It doesn't matter. But my personality and my lifestyle doesn't lend itself easily to get down, settle, get married, because I'm always traveling and doing stuff.
Yep.
So you got to find someone that wants to do that and can do that too.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I appreciate the sentiment.
I think you have a number of crushes in here. I don't know what's going on in here. There is a lot of hot stuff going on in there. I'm not gonna look at that. But yeah. All right. Let's move on. Yeah. Shout out to them. So when did a hat become your trademark? When did that become your trademark?
Certainly after the sing-off. I wore hats a fair amount of time before, but once we were on the TV show, one of the things we talked about was how can we make ourselves more country? And I thought, why don't I just put a cowboy hat on and let's really embrace it? And I said, okay. And then I started wearing that, and then I do caps sometimes too, but the cowboy hat kind of sort of became my thing. And like, okay, I was fine with it, and it just really, hits you over the head with the country vibe. And then I just embraced it. And then a few years ago, I actually had hair surgery done, so I have more hair on the top of my head than I used to have.
Yep.
And so now I don't necessarily need to wear the hats, so I don't tend to like.
Hair
here now.
Okay.
So messy at the moment.
Yeah. And the next question was it always a cowboy hat? But you've just not answered. You've just answered that with your cap.
Off, sometimes I'd wear a fedora or like a Newsies cap or something. Like I would change up whatever I felt like.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. The next question is when does Elliot Robinson come into? So Elliot Robinson, you performed. Are you ready for a miracle? And I think you've done other things.
A couple. Yeah, I've done a bunch with him. Some with 7th Ave, some with my channel.
Yeah, he's a really good bass as well.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Staying with Home Free a bunch of times as just a constant sub. He never wanted to commit to it full time because he's a lawyer and he kind of that's his actual make real money job. And he loves doing it and he's so good. He was actually one of the finalists for Pentatonics for to replace Avi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They flew him out to LA to audition and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's great. It's just kind of whenever I hit him up, he's on a track that's coming out for 7th Ave in a week or two once I get that one edited as well.
Yeah.
It's just what if I really want a deep bass? I just call him up and he's like, sure.
He's not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. There's another question I can't really see. Did he try to help? Oh, right. Okay. I think you've already answered that. The next one is, did you convince Adam to sing a part in any song? Because I think you've already answered that because Adam already wanted to sing, right? Yeah. Yeah,
and I didn't say it's convinced. It's more just does it make sense? And he was always up for doing it. And he did sing on various things even before I left. But he's done stuff since then. He got little parts here and there where we'll have him sing something.
Yeah, that's really good. The next one is the requester for the song "For Those Tears I Died" is here now, and would love to talk to Chris about the song.
I remember that lady. Yeah, who's asking.
Oh, right, Kelly Williams. Shout out to Kelly Williams. Yeah.
It's a song that I might either do as just something around my piano song, or maybe put it on my next gospel CD or something. Yeah, it's an old Christian hymn.
Okay. Nice song. Shout out to Kelly Williams. I think she's a really strong fan for you. Do you want to feature Humphrey in any of your future videos? Like feature them?
Certainly. Yeah, do collaboration with them again. I certainly would. Again, it comes down to what makes sense, and I don't know if they. Honestly, I don't know if they'd want to, just because they've tried so hard to move on from me, and that's just not it's like a bad thing. It's more of a necessity because Chance is the person in the group, and by doing stuff with me, it kind of confuses it a bit more. So I think they're not super excited about it, but it could still happen if something made sense to do as a fun project.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You never know.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you still hang out with Humphrey? As in, do you go to their concerts?
I actually have not been to a concert since I left.
Oh,
no. I guess I know I did one. I was an opening act for it, for one of the Christmas shows. So I guess I did see the show then.
Oh, right.
No, I've been in a couple music videos as a fun extra.
Yeah.
But no.
Oh no, we lost Chris. I think Chris iPad died on me. I'm not sure what's gonna happen if I'm gonna wait for Chris, but he did warn us. He did warn us at the start that his battery was going to die, which is a shame. But shout out to Chris. This is quite the abrupt ending. I didn't expect that to happen, but I guess it was bound to happen. Shout out to the Ko-Fi gang. Thank you guys for being here. Let me see what's going on in here. Shout out to Kimberly M. Shout out to Brandon Essina. Oh, yo, you guys' names are complicated as hell. Shout out to you guys. I'm gonna wait for 5 minutes and see if he's able to return. Actually, let me message him right now. Let me message him right now and see if he's going to. Should I wait for 5? It's just Brendan is a sinner. All right, Brendan is a sinner. Is that the name? All right. Shout out to N9 the Noob in the chat. Shout out to DM404. You're late. Oh, you just came in when we lost Chris. Shout out to Kelly Williams, who asked the question. Shout out to Doinita, my new moderator. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas in the house. Shout out to NF. Shout out to Kelly Williams. I've already called you up. Shout out to Marcelo Base. Marcelo Base is in the house. Shout out to Constantly Going At It. Shout out to you guys, man. Really appreciate. Shout out to KB Bears. Shout out to Amico. If you manage to interview Avi Kaplan, I'll be surprised. Let's see. I'll just pop on my phone quick to finish up. Yep. All right. We're gonna wait for 5 minutes for Chris to pop on his phone, and then we can finish real quick. Yeah. So we're gonna finish in about 5 minutes time. So shout out to you guys for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Hit the like button. Thank you for coming here. Hit the like button on your way out, because there are some ninja watchers here who want to enjoy this but do not want to support. And you guys know me, I always call you out, even though you don't like it. So if you're a ninja watcher here, thank you for being here, but at least hit the like button and support the channel. All right, let me keep going. So, because how it looks now, you got almost everyone to interview. I've only got DJ Young and Chris to interview. I've only interviewed DJ Young and Chris, so I will try and get other people, other elite group people to interview. But yeah, sure. Shout out to Jacob Restitutor. Jacob, are you still here? I'm not sure if Jacob is still here. Hey, shout out to Jacob Restitutor's in the house. Shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to Griffin Wolf in the house. Shout out to RF. Shout out to Michelle 32855. Oh, let me reply to Chris. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Shout out to Sophie Eustace. Oh, Sophie Eustace. I haven't seen you in a while. Sophie Eustace. I used Napster in middle school, then switched to LimeWire. See, I know LimeWire. I've heard of LimeWire. I just haven't heard of Napster. So I was confused. I was like, because I am in IT. I'm an IT engineer, right? So I know LimeWire, but I've never heard of Napster. I was like, oh, Napster. What is that? Is that a group? Is that a singing group, Napster? What is that? Shout out to Lynette Calper. Shout out to Lynette Calper. Shout out to Aji. Oh, Aji's here. Aji. Hey, Aji, listen. Aji, I need a drawing of me. Aji, I need a drawing of me. How do I get a drawing of me, Aji? I need a drawing of me. Anyway, Chris is back, guys. Chris is back. So let's go. All right. I guess we're back. Looking good. There we go. Connecting audio. Can't seem to hear you. I think you're. Oh yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, we're back to finish this up on my phone.
Oh no!
I thought time gave out.
Yeah, well, it was just right on time, right on cue for the 1 hour mark to hit, and actually we just exhausted the questions as well, so just right on cue.
So close. All right, we're gonna say goodbyes and stuff.
Yeah, man. Oh man, shout out to Chris Rupp, the hat guy, the sound guy, the producer guy, the reaction guy. He's actually dipping in our business as well, so shout out to him.
I wear many hats.
He wears many hats. Yes, yeah. Shout out to him, man. I can't really wait to get up to all your new projects, and I can't wait to check out Montero as well, because
yes, please
man, I'm gonna react to it.
I'm WAP too if you really want to go crazy.
I'm gonna check all of that out, because what? I can't believe you guys actually did that.
Yep.
Oh man, is there a link? Can you send me the link on Instagram when we?
Yeah,
we're finished.
I'll send you the link to the
yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you very much. So there seems to be one more question. So this is going to be the last question. Do you have perfect pitch? I think this is a very random question.
My mom does, actually. So I grew up being around that. Yeah, she has perfect pitch, which is the ability to know what a pitch is, the actual name of it, similar to how you can see the color blue and say, oh, that's blue.
That's blue.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
You can hear a C and say, oh, that's C.
That's C, yeah.
I have a very trained ear. I definitely have what's called relative pitch, which is a little confusing to people the way they use it.
Okay.
Relative pitch is the ability to understand pitches in relation to each other. So some people think like, oh, I don't have quite perfect pitch, but I have relative pitch as if that's close to it. No, it's completely different. So relative pitch, if I hear two notes, I can tell you the interval between them, what it is.
Right.
That's a fifth, that's a tritone, that's a sixth. Or I can, if the song is playing in C and I hear the 5 chord, I can tell you.
Network.
Oh, that's the 5 chord.
Yeah.
G chord. I know what it is. So if I know what key it is, I can tell you the notes that are happening because I know what they all are in relation to each other. And that's a trained thing that I have.
Wow. Okay.
And I have a good sense of pitch in that I can pretty close. Like if you give me a note, like, okay, that sounds kind of like D flat, but I wouldn't put money on it. You know?
I think that's way cool. That sounds way cooler than perfect pitch. Because I learned, I didn't study music, so I wouldn't claim to have any musical expertise. However, I have really good ears. I'm not sure if I could claim relative pitch because I can't really name them to say this is a 7th chord or that's a 9th chord or that's a 6th. But I can definitely explain what is going on and actually arrange a music by listening to, as I could listen to Humphrey song and say, okay, let me just put it on Audacity or whatever and just create exactly what, so I could hear the parts. I just can't name them. Nice. I just can't name, so I don't have perfect pitch or relative pitch, I guess. I just have ears, good ears.
That is kind of relative pitch. It's just the training then to know what it is you're doing and what you're hearing and recognizing what they are. Right. You create it, but like you'd say, oh, this is the 4 chord and they have a 9th on there. Cool, got it. You know?
You're right. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I can feel it. I just can't name it. I just can't call it out there. Your 9th chord. Right. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. Anyway, Chris, I don't want to hold you much because your battery on your phone is probably going to die as well. Zoom is killing the game today. Zoom is killing the game. Right. But shout out to you, man. Really appreciate you for making time with us in the Ko-Fi gang. And the home fries are here for you, and the Chris fries are here for you, man. They're all here, man. They really love you. They have crushes on you. They have crushes on you. They love you. There's so many things going on in the chat room. I don't even want to look at it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Somebody linked to this too, and I'll post it on my page here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I will do that. But yes, man, I'm really honored to have hosted you. And I hope that we can do this sometime in future. If you do any cool stuff, any more crazy things like Montero, I would definitely be happy to host you again. we can check it out.
Next time I have a big song on, maybe we could talk about, and I'll just tell you about the next time I do something like Amazing Grace, and we can just talk about the song itself. Like, this is how we shot it. Blah, blah,
yes. And one last question. This is my question. One thing I've noticed on all your videos is you walk around a lot. In majority of your videos, you're always walking around. You're always walking. It's always you're going somewhere. Where are you going?
I think it's always more interesting to have that kind of movement versus just standing there. Especially as a solo performer. But I guess there's a lot of walking shots.
It's like Amazing Grace and all the other cool stuff as well. It's like, walking again. Oh, okay, he's walking again. Now he's somewhere in town. He's always going somewhere. But yeah, man. Oh, bro, that was fun. Thank you very much.
Cool, man. Gotta do it.
Guys, where are we gonna find you in case someone here doesn't know anything about you? We know you're Humphrey, that's why we're all here, but where can we find your other stuff, your original music?
YouTube is the biggest thing, of course. I mean, I'm on all the Spotify's and Apple Music and stuff like that, but YouTube is where I've got videos for all my projects. That's the way to go. Chris Rupp Official. And you can see all the videos I do.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Well, that's it. We're gonna say goodbye to the gang, and if you can stay on for 5 minutes, and then we can say proper goodbyes. But yeah. All right, shout out to the Ko-Fi gang. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you for being involved in the chat, in the comment sections, for giving me all your questions as well. Shout out to you if your questions were not able to answer. It's no ill will. It's just we're just too excited and we just ignored your questions. So yeah, that's what happened. I mean, yeah. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I'll see you guys again. Stay tuned and we're out. Peace.